Okay, let's see what's going on. I'm not sure what channel is where and who is seeing what. Let's move these books just in case I have to reach for those and use those. It's 8:36 p.m. So I don't know what time, and I cannot see right now. Like my glasses, they're gone. They're not here. They're at my boyfriend's. All right. So I'm gonna just start with my conversation. Just because I don't know how long this may take. And I definitely just want to preface this by saying I'm pretty sure I'm gonna kind of be all over the place. Um, so that's the first thing. I want to say good evening to you guys, whoever's going to come across this live. I don't have any major direction. Oh, God, I'm sorry right now. Let me apologize right now for the lighting. It is going to be going in and out because, well, that's what happens over here. The lighting is going to go in and out. I wanted to say that I don't have any specific set order to this conversation. It's probably going to be very free flowing. Let's see who this is speaking. Um, Hi, where are you from? I am from Houston, Texas. Where are you from? But let me get back on point. It's going to kind of be free flowing this evening. So I'm guessing that my pretty coach channel is on here showing up. I'm showing up over there as well. If so, I'm really happy about that. That is a sudden change for me. Um, but I guess this is as good a time as any to really introduce myself, especially over there on that channel, because this is the first time I've been able to go live. So that's exciting. Um, so this is kind of part of the direction that I wanted to go. I want to reintroduce myself to those who are on my YouTube channels, both of them, both Autochthonous Heiress, which was formerly known as Leo Loves Tarot, and also formerly known as the Pretty Coach Oracles. I want to reintroduce myself to those people, and then to the new people from the Pretty Coach channel, I want to introduce myself to you guys. And um, I guess I kind of want to talk about some things. So, first and foremost, I want to say that I am a very spiritual person. I am a believer and a knower of God, as well as, um, because God designed this that I'm about to talk about, spirituality, all the things that kind of connect us to the divine, um, is what comprises of spirituality. And so, as me, a person who is extremely spiritual, which for me equivocates also to being emotional. Emotional and spiritual, they go together for me. Um, Long story short, I am a preacher's daughter. I was born and raised in the church. Let's just see. Oh, okay. I'm from Houston, Texas, and my breast size does not matter. All right, moving on. What was I about to say? So, I'm a preacher's child. I was born and raised in the church. I was a person who absolutely loved going to church, and I would still love it if the things that I was searching for was being taught there, but they're not. So I had to then seek for myself. Not that I wasn't before, like I was. And that's actually what led me to a lot of my questions not being answered and at church. So I did a lot of studying of the Bible, on my own. And my fascination was also like with words. So if I was reading the Bible and there was a word that I did not understand or whatever, I would have to look that word up. And a lot of times it was from a Hebraic standpoint. So I got all into that and things of that nature. which helped to expand my understanding of the Bible, which led me into more and more research. So my foundation is church and it's scripture, but I've also been opened up to the understanding of the Bible being an esoteric book. And the word that I was really thinking is masterpiece. So there's a lot of occultic information, which that's both esoteric and occultic are synonyms for hidden. Okay. Um, there's a lot of that throughout the scriptures. And I just I learned that over time. And I've been fascinated with that for a really long time. So my journey of self-discovery led me into tarot, basically. And it wasn't even first of me trying to discover myself. It was me trying to figure out why a relationship that I had been in ended so suddenly and abruptly. That I later found out was the catalyst for like my second awakening, or really my very first awakening. So now in retrospect, it was a beautiful thing, but at the time I just didn't understand it. Now I do, and now I'm grateful for that experience as well. But that experience and me trying to understand it, make sense of it, and make sense of who I was in the process, all of that was a part of opening me up to the divine in a way that I hadn't experienced yet before. I've always been a person who has spiritual gifts as well. And so I didn't know what to call these gifts at all. Um, and first I studied the Bible because again, that's my foundation. That was like my elementary school is church. So I started to study the Bible and I was trying to figure out like the gifts of the spirit and things of that sort. And I found, they have the offices and the gifts of the spirit in the Bible. But then I was like, okay, in layman's terms, what are these things? And then that led me to like all the clairs. So when I began to see, and even to Reiki and stuff like that, when I began to see these things come, and I felt like, well, that's not really different from Reiki, isn't different from the laying on of hands. And clairaudience is like what I have. That's how I get the majority of my messages. So boom, there you go. And I was able to marry the two and see all these spiritual gifts that are considered new age right in the scriptures. Also, this journey of self-discovery led me to self-love and self-care, and somehow into all this meditation where I was spending a lot of time by myself, happily, not sad, not down, just, but some of it was kind of forced. Some of it was kind of forced because I'm a person who, for some reason, me and relationships kind of go together. And, or at least I feel that they do, but and it's easy for me to have a relationship or to get into one. Not always easy to maintain them, but also it's easy because it's connected to my South Node. Okay. That's what I used to do. That's what I am familiar with, like from my past life and everything. That was something that I was able to master. Relationships of all sorts, business, marital affairs, and family. Okay. So that's easy for me. That comes very natural for me. But this time around, it is meant for me to learn my independence and to maybe even be alone for a while. And that's hard because I've already made this decision to be in a connection and I'm trying to be committed to that, and I'm really trying to find the healthy balance of being independent and being in a connection. And because that is not easy for me, it's just tough. Like, I don't even know how to label it right now. And I don't want to label it in a way that could be offensive to my partner, because this is not personal or a personal attack, but this is me in self-discovery mode. So I understood that Christ, what people call, a lot of Christians say, who this is the person that Christians say that they follow and stuff like that. Christ taught about, or was the example in regards to self-love. Like, when I read a lot of the passages in the scripture, or at least this was the way that I began to understand it when I was having my awakening, there were times that Christ was with his companions and his students or his tribe of people. And then there were times that he was with the masses, sharing and giving of himself. And what he was giving was wealth of knowledge. And then there were times where he was by himself. And we got a chance to see conversations of Christ with himself, right? And then and him overcoming certain aspects of him, his shadow, his lower self, and all of that. We got to see that, or that's the way, like I said, scripture started to stand out to me. And then I was like, oh crap. You know, learning about the Bible is teaching us about ourselves. Torah, I begin to understand that the instructions of God, they're literally still working to this day. What people know as Torah, what people know as the law of God and stuff, or the law of Moses, all of that is still in effect in a major way. All of it. The laws about the universe, still in effect. And therefore, to me, the laws about how people are to interact with each other are also still supposed to be intact. But most people have forgotten about that and walked away, including myself, and you know, in my own way. But I did get that understanding. So I was like, whoa. And the Torah is first for self. It's first for us to put it into work in our lives and for us to reap the benefits of that. And then our light, in essence, will be shining in front of people, to where people will desire to know, how is it that you're living the way that you're living? You're blessed. Like, you are experiencing bliss. People will want to know, like, how do you know all this information? Or how is it that you're able to live like this? But that's not necessarily from, you know, having to go out of your way to do anything. It's like the way that you interact with people, how you handle folks is what's going to be the light, and it's going to be your message. Anyways, all of that led me to feel like, oh, okay, so the Torah and self-love go together. Because Torah begins first with self, and then it affects the whole community or the whole collective. So I was like, okay. I also understood that every major figure in scripture was a Messiah, including Christ, and Christ is not the last Messiah. Per his own testimony, you know, per his own supposed accounts. Christ teaches in the Bible that, you know, the things that he was capable of doing, that he did, that he became known for, that there were others who were also going to do the same thing and greater things than him, which made me know, oh, okay. So Christ is not the only gifted person like this. Christ is not the only one experiencing his God self in the flesh. There are going to be others. And for some reason, I felt like I was a part of that. I still feel that way. And I also feel like there are others who are like me. And all that means is that we're going to first tap into the divinity of God within ourselves. And you're going to understand that you yourself are, in fact, God. And that's not a concept that I'm drawing out of my butt. It's not a concept that I just randomly thought of while I was high. That's in the word. Like legit, before I had the understanding that I'm having now, I still read that in the Bible. Like God clearly states in scripture, over in Genesis, the supposed beginning, that we were created in the image of the Godhead. And over there in that scripture, in that book, it says that God created the masculine principle and the feminine principle, or i.e., male and female, in their image and their likeness. So we can take on the image of the Most High God and we act like God. So that let me know, even back then, but it was expounded upon, and it was grown so much more after this spiritual awakening that I had, that, oh, okay, so all of us have the capabilities of being like Christ. Oh, every one of us do. At 11:11 on that damn clock. Oh no, I know 11. It was 16. My bad. I digress. This is what has led me on the journey to where I am now. I think that a lot of people in the faith that I used to be in, Christianity, and even a sector or a section of Christianity, those who are considered Hebrew Israelites, which I feel like I'm for sure still Hebrew, but I just have a different understanding and a different concept. I feel as though people don't understand that Christ studied a lot of the religions that came before him. Like, he was studious. So it bothers me when Christians feel like things like Buddhism and Hinduism, and stuff, and paganism is off limits to check into. Like, that bothers me, because it's like, do y'all not know that Christ actually went to Egypt, learned from the mystery schools in Egypt? Do y'all not know that? And yeah, so my mind be all over the place, you guys, but I am very much so a student of life first and foremost, and I love reading spiritual books. I just do. And I love, sharing what I read and also what I experience. Like, life teaches us things, and the choices that we make and the results of those choices, they teach us as well. And so when I learn something based upon a situation that I may have, chosen for myself or whatever, I like to share that. I just do. I've always been that way. I don't know if I'm ever going to not be that way. So with that being said, this is where these two channels come from. Autochthonous Aries. Now, I do want to speak to those who were with me when I was the pretty coach, and then Leo's Love Tarot, and then now even into Autochthonous Aries. I did change my channel because initially, when I came onto YouTube, you guys, not only was it my purpose to like share whatever information I know and whatever I was learning, and to watch other videos and stuff like that, I also wanted to grow my channel. And so I did notice that my channel began to grow, by leaps and bounds, when I started practicing using my spiritual gifts through tarot. My channel like exploded. Okay. First of all, it was the first and only channel that I've ever had that reached over 700 people. I've never had that type of success on YouTube, and I have been on YouTube for decades. I need y'all to know this. I am not new here. Okay. So with that being said, I knew something was real there. I knew that this mattered. I knew that this was important, and that was a big deal. So, but I did do something. I went from reading and putting out readings for all the signs like kind of like this. It was a lot more than what it has been until when I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, all of that slowed down. As much as I wanted it to not slow down, it really, really did. And so I feel like my channel took a hit. But even once I kind of kept trying to go with my channel, I noticed that there were certain signs, zodiac signs, that actually, you know, interacted on my channel as well as actually watched. So I just kind of, and there were also, I felt like there were people who I felt I was always tapping into their energy, certain signs that I was always picking up on their energy. So Leo was one of them, Cancer was another, and Gemini was another one. And I just thought that it would be smoother and easier. And I was trying to get my views up, no lie. I thought that it was going to be wiser and a good strategy to change my channel to only reading for Leos. Because first and foremost, according to Western astrology, that is my sun and my moon sign, Leo. So I thought this is a no-brainer. Boy, was I wrong. Okay, was I wrong? My channel started to decline even faster than it was before I got pregnant. And that was really disappointing. But I was like, okay, maybe it's just because I switched up on people. Maybe it's going to take some time. It just never caught back up. And then now I've also changed my name again to Autochthonous Aries. And I'm also not doing my readings, not even for Leos. I'm not doing those as much as I used to. And I have to admit, I think it's because I have gotten very, very discouraged over here on this channel because it's not doing as well as I wanted it to. And it wasn't for a little while before I even slowed down on doing anything on it. It was slowing down already. And I felt like I was doing a lot, and readings take a lot of energy, though I love them. I enjoy them. I just wished I was getting more views, and I just simply wasn't. And so that was disappointing. So I literally, for a moment, was like, I think I'm going to totally shut this channel down, but I just couldn't do it yet. So I'm going to try. I'm saying all of this, you guys, to say, I don't know, especially on the Autochthonous Aries side, I don't know what to do to revive my channel. And I'm hoping that if there is someone who has been with me from when I first started this channel and you feel like you have an idea of what I should do, please let me know. You can put it in the comments after this live or whatever. Tell me what you think I should do. Okay. Should I just close this channel down, or should I go back to doing all sign readings, or should I keep it at just doing readings for the zodiac sign of Leo? What do you guys think I should do? This is my question for the Autochthonous Aries channel. Over on the Pretty Coach channel, let me tell you guys what my plan is over there. First and foremost, I have to say that channel is starting to grow very, very quickly. And I'm a little disappointed. And I'm going to tell you why. I did a video over on my Pretty Coach channel, and those who are on Autochthonous Aries, if you are not yet following the Pretty Coach channel, I'm going to ask that you guys go look for the Pretty Coach on YouTube and go follow me if you're not. So the Pretty Coach is born out of this concept of me marrying my spirituality with my natural gifts and abilities. My natural gifts and abilities include that I am naturally beautiful, that I also legitimately enjoy playing in things like makeup, but most importantly, my favorite thing to beautify myself and also to assist in beautifying others, as far as ladies, for sure, that's my heart, women, is personal and self-development. First of all, they're the same, but whatever. That is my favorite, and building up of our character. So this is where the concept of the Pretty Coach comes from. The coach comes from the fact that I'm a natural teacher. It comes from the fact that throughout my young adult life, and even right now, people for some reason are drawn to me. I'm talking about to where before they know it, before I know it, we're having a conversation and they're telling me all of their business. They're trusting me with information that is something. Okay. And also, they are hearing, they're hearing something in my voice that makes them solicit advice or that causes them to listen to shit that I say. So, with that being said, that's where the whole concept of coach came from for me. And the fact that I legit have always desired to understand people, understand myself as well, why we do what we do, and or do or don't do what we don't. And also, I have this reflection thing that I do. And I share my experiences with others, and me sharing my experiences with others causes them to also share their experiences, right, with me. And we assist each other on this healing journey. So that's where the coach comes from, and that's where the pretty part comes from. The prettying is both the physical and aesthetic beauty that I enjoy participating in, but most importantly, it is the spiritual and personal development of my character and encouraging others to build that within themselves. That's my favorite beautifying process. So the pretty coach is supposed to be about spirituality. It's supposed to be about lifestyle and beauty, right? I have a video that has since gone viral over here on the Pretty Coach channel, and I'm grateful that it's gone viral. I'm so grateful, but I don't know if it's been reaching the audience that I've wanted it to. And it went viral because I was having this authentic moment with myself. And I just feel like I just turned the camera on and just started recording that. And it went viral. And I'm grateful, you guys. I have to admit, I'm grateful for that. But I don't know if I don't know if this channel now is receiving the type of viewership that I desired for it to. First, women, I don't know if ladies are watching that video because only a few who are my absolute close friends have watched it and commented. Everybody else that's commented on like 2 of the videos that I put up on this channel, they're all men. They're all men who I feel are obviously excited, and who find me beautiful and attractive. And, some of them may have listened to what I was talking about in that video, and they may have been able to understand me and identify with me and my message. And if they did, I'm grateful for that. But I can feel that others are simply here for the show. Like others are simply here because of my breast and because of hips and thighs and butt. They may have missed the whole message. And I don't know how to feel about that. I think it would be amazing to me if men actually listen to the spiritual information that I'm sharing and begin to have their own spiritual practices as a direct result of meeting me and watching one of my videos. But I don't know if that's going to happen. My boyfriend was like, chill, don't worry about it. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure some of them are looking at you just because you're beautiful, but who knows? You may very well, assist a lot of men, in their own leveling up and in their own spiritual journeys. You just don't know. And I was like, okay, maybe. So ultimately, this channel is still for women to me. But the beautiful thing about that is that it doesn't totally exclude men, because if you're a man who loves a woman or you're attracted to, and you want to learn a little bit about some of us. I do not presume to speak for all women. I can only speak for myself, to be honest, and ladies maybe who are like me. So a part of my audience, if there are any men who are watching, and I'm going to try to wrap this up because this is becoming pretty lengthy, and I'll be back another time. But part of the reason for this channel for me was also to speak specifically to women who have been wounded in their heart and their spirituality due to sexual abuse, which is something that I myself am a victor and survivor of. So I do have the residue of effects of sexual abuse, right? That's another very important portion of this channel. And it will go there, on purpose a little bit more as I bring order to this channel. But I believe that in the account of men, that just maybe this may be helpful for you guys if, like I said, you love and respect women. Maybe you may learn something, even though y'all, I know, are looking at this body, and I hope I'm not being offensive to anybody, because I'm certainly not trying to be. It's just I wanted y'all to know that video wasn't just about me showing my goods. It was just about a very authentic moment. And I was really hoping my sisters would see that shit. I was really hoping that women would see it, and that would bring more of my soul tribe to me. Instead, it's brought a lot of men. I'm just hoping you guys can really learn something from me. I guess that's what I'm ultimately trying to say. So now, without further ado, I'm going to move on from that. I feel like I shared with you guys some really important factors. And I also feel like on my old channel, I asked a question. Hopefully, if anybody comes across that and they care about the growth of my channel or just about what I'm doing, maybe you will chime in and tell me what you think I should do with that channel. All right. So in the meantime, in between time, I had something that I wanted to do for the people who are new to me on the Pretty Coach channel. So if you guys are not aware, like I was sharing before, I'm very much so into spirituality. And I use that, if you ask me, to give inspiring messages and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring that over here to you guys on purpose. So I was thinking about doing a general reading this evening, or also opening up the floor for either what I like to call card pulls or just yes or no questions. So if there's anybody here who would like to see, if you have a question on your heart, on your mind, if you would like to, just for the heck of it, see what Spirit has to say for you in regards to this thing, and it has to be something that can be answered in a yes or no question, I feel like I'd be really happy, and I'd love to try this out for you guys and to see if it'll be accurate. But if no one comes on, if no one decides to do it, then I won't be able to do that for you guys. And I was thinking about this other thing that I have. I've got this cool book that I have that I have been thinking about for a little minute, but I have not done it. And it's a cool book on astrology. And it talks, the section that I was in, it's on something called decanates, or I don't know how to say it, but I would say decans. So I'm going to just say decans. So decans are 3 sections or subsections of every sign, and every sign has decans. And that means that there are 3 different types of Arieses, or 3 different types of Leos, such as myself, 3 different types of Cancers, 3 different types of Pisces. Yeah. So I wanted to share that, and I was going to start with the sign of Aries. not Aries. I was going to start with Cancers on this live since we're in their season. And I think I just kind of want to create a series on this. So this may be something that I do at a later time, actually try to make it kind of quick or not. It could totally be dedicated. I can make some time for my people, but that's going to come up on the Pretty Coach channel soon, I think, especially since nobody is asking for a reading right now. I can't force anyone, and I'm just going to have to find something else to do. Okay, guys. So that is the end of this conversation. I'm going to end it here because it has been very long. Thank you to the one person who was on here with me from the beginning all the way to the end. Thank you for being here. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and consider subscribing, but only if this resonates with you, you know? But anyway, that's the end of this. I will be back at another time. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together to bring balance and harmony first within ourselves and then within our world. It is the Pretty Coach and Autochthonous Aries signing off. Bye, guys.